Hey guys, in this video I'm going to give you all of my best advice, tips, and tricks for how you can get the most joy out of this holiday season, survive it, embrace the chaos, get some good planning going. How do you get the most out of this holiday season with lots of little kids? So stay tuned.
You're watching Food Joy
Well, if you are new here, my name is Dawn Marie, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. I have 4 little kids, and I'm not an expert, and I'm so far from perfect, but God does amazing things, and when He does, and when He gives me good tips and ideas, or trial and error, or whatever, I come on here and I mom them forward and pass them along to you. And then I learn from you guys in the comments, and it's just a good community here of moms who love Jesus and want to live that abundant life that He died on the cross to give us. So if that sounds like something that you'd like, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button or just check out some of the other videos on the channel. But today I racked my brain as I started getting ready for another holiday season. I am like going, okay, what are the things I know I need to do? What are the things that I have to plan out? And I have this big long list going, and I'm thinking, I should share this because I can remember some of my first holidays when I had 1 or 2 kids. There was so much stress and pressure and that new word FOMO, fear of missing out, right? There was so much, okay, it's probably not a new word. I'm probably just such a mom. It's probably not a new word, sorry, but whatever. Fear of missing out, right? You have these little kids and you're trying to get it all done. And so I just feel like to start with, a really healthy perspective to have going into the holiday season is this. There's always next year. There's always going to be another year. Like, this is not the last Christmas. Praise God. This should hopefully not be the last Christmas for anyone. Lord willing, Jesus, please keep us all alive by your grace and your angels. Like, there will be lots more holidays to celebrate. And yes, sometimes there's like these pivotal things that we want to get done, but we add that into our prioritization for the year, and we know that like we're not going to get everything done. You know, something that helps me with the concept of there will always be next year is writing a list down of the things that we've already accomplished. I think it was not last year, but the Christmas before, I'm, scrolling through Pinterest and I'm looking at the 25 things you got to get done this Christmas, and, here's the turkey crafts and all of these things. And I'm like, oh, we haven't done anything. Or I'm on Instagram and I'm like, oh my goodness, look at all this fun stuff they're doing on Instagram, and we do nothing because it's, one Saturday morning where here we are still at the house and we aren't out doing anything. And my brain is like telling me all this ridiculous and negative junk. And so the Lord prompted me to, well, why don't you write down the things that you've already done this holiday season? And when I wrote them down, I was like, oh wow, we've actually done a lot of them. And when I looked at, so many of the things on the list, I'm thinking, are any of them actually things that I want to do? Well, yeah, this one and this one. Okay, can we fit that in? And, so I think that keeping track of the things that you've already accomplished and gotten the opportunity to do. I mean, guys, you probably think I'm nuts if you saw me most afternoons. I'm writing in my little binder the square so I can check it off of something like, oh, I did handwriting with a 3-year-old. Is anyone coming to check whether I've done handwriting with a 3-year-old? No, nobody cares about that. But it makes me feel that sense of satisfaction of going, okay, I accomplished something. Look, we're checking off that box. It's me fueling my brain with more positive energy of like, hey, we are getting things done in this house no matter what it feels like. So write down the things that you've done. We have done cookies. Okay, we did do a craft. We colored a Christmas picture at the library, or whatever it is. Keep track of what you've done, because then you can keep looking back on it. Remind yourself that quality is better than quantity. Personally, I'd rather do a couple things really well and really get inside of that moment and enjoy them instead of check off every single Christmas project to do that you could possibly think of. Because when you add too much to life, it just gets cluttered, it gets chaotic, things tend to take longer with kids than you think, and it just gets to be too much stress. So for me personally, I plan way ahead. You know, think way ahead on what you're gonna do, which is why I'm putting this video out now, and a lot of it has to do with that Christmas time crazy, because this year is a short Christmas season. One of the blessings of having a mother and a husband who are both in sales and retail, and they know to count those days between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And for me personally, I was that girl that was like, you cannot put Christmas music on before Thanksgiving, you're skipping over Thanksgiving, and I would get so huffy about it until I started to recognize that, no, let's just make Christmas and Thanksgiving partners, and let's just say that, you know, they're in this together, and Thanksgiving we just get to celebrate along with all the Christmas fun, and that they can go together. Because really, like for instance, this year there are, I think it's only 25 days between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thanksgiving is so close to the end of November this year that it's maybe like 27 days. I should have looked exactly on the calendar, but they're so close together. You know, some Christmas seasons between Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's 5 weeks, but this year it's only it's less than 4 weeks. So you want to be on top of what you're going to do for Christmas. Get on Pinterest now. Go, you know, search wherever you go to get your creative juices flowing for what you want to do. Think about that. Prioritize what things are important to your family and make those things happen first, or make sure that you add them into the schedule. You know, don't just have this running to-do list in your head of, well, I want to make Christmas cookies and we got to do this craft and we have to take family pictures and I want to send out a card, and you have all this stuff in your brain. You are going to be so stressed out the whole holiday season because this to-do list, you're going to have to constantly keep it in your mind. You got to stick it down on paper, and then you got to take it from that to-do list on paper and specifically plug it in. You know, you might feel silly, like I've got a 2, a 3, and a 5-year-old. Nobody's even doing, like, you know, we're not even school age yet, but I have a calendar with the activities that we're going to do. Well, don't feel silly about that, because if you want to get those things done, you're going to need to plan to do them. I just have found so much success in taking my to-do list and putting it into my daily calendar. Okay, tomorrow we're gonna make, you know, the cocoa, oh my goodness, I'm blanking on what it's called. What's it called? The vanilla cocoa brown Play-Doh. That's the word. Wow, mom brain, Play-Doh. We're gonna make Play-Doh tomorrow, and we're gonna make it smell like cinnamon, and that's what we're gonna do, or hot chocolate, whatever, you know? That this is what we're gonna do, this is when we're gonna do it. Plan those things out, and then when you look at that big long list, you can go, do I care about this or this? Like, do I want to get those family pictures done? I want to get them sent out. So I'm gonna make that a priority to do that first. What are the ideas I'm gonna do? And you know, when you're approaching something like that, don't leave things to the last minute with clothing. Make sure you might think that dress fits the kid, but try it on to make sure. Make sure you've got the right undergarments. Do you have the stockings? Try those shoes on the day before. I can't tell you how many times I think I have an outfit for a kid. You know, I've got it planned out. I'm like, oh yeah, we got those shoes up there. And then that day I go to put it on and I'm like, the pants are suddenly an inch too short. The shoes don't fit your feet anymore. How did this happen? So you want to make sure that you're trying things on right before, and don't forget about yourself. Oh my goodness, I've come to a couple Christmases and been like the day or two before the Christmas service, running to the store, all stressed out, trying to figure out a Christmas outfit because I thought I had something in that closet and then there wasn't anything there. I'm a different size because I'm nursing, or I just had the baby, or whatever it is. Make sure you've got those clothes for yourself. Clue the husband in, whether you dress him or he dresses himself, however that works in your house. Let him know, and bribe your kids when you take pictures. Do that. You should bribe your children for pictures. How else are you going to get through taking pictures? We practice at our house. Bribe them. Give them a treat. Guys, let's get these pictures done quick. Stand here and smile, and let's do it fast so we can get this treat or this reward or whatever. That will make those pictures go so much quicker. So, you know, look at that list and pick those things that are going to be the priority to you, those things that you're like, oh, it's not going to feel like Christmas if we don't fill in the blank, and make sure you get those things done. And then just know that really, what's this whole thing supposed to be about? Jesus, celebrating the birth of Jesus, being thankful for everything God has given us. And we as adults and parents in the house, we pave the way for our kids with setting the tone in the house. You know, is this going to be a season where it's all about the presents, which are so much fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. But is this season going to be focused all about the stuff, or are we going to take time to make those family memories, do that family stuff together, spend that quality time that's going to give us those lasting memories? You know, you're going to rip through those toys on Sunday morning, they're going to play with them, and then they're going to be at the next yard sale. Like, the toys are going to come and go, but that, you know, experience of decorating the Christmas tree together, or whatever your family tradition is that's special to you, making sure you go into that not stressed out. And man, when you get in those moments and something doesn't go the way that you planned, let me encourage you to, as quick as you can, say, Lord, I give you this expectation. I expected to get to read Little House on the Prairie with my kids around the fire, and it's not happening. I give that to you. Because if you allow yourself to, oh man, it's not working out, it's not working out, it's not working out, it is going to snowball until you're in the middle of this moment that you couldn't, you know, Christmas can't happen without, and now you're not even enjoying it because it didn't go perfectly. You know, you have to be flexible, which is so much easier said than done. But I'm telling you, if you haven't seen my grace bubble video, if you give that thing to Jesus, God's grace will be right there to meet you. There will be that bubble of grace for you to step inside of, and he will give you his joy and his peace to enjoy whatever the situation turned out looking like. You know, I can remember one Christmas where we literally, not Christmas, it was an Easter. We were so excited. My daughter Fiona, she's the first girl in our house, and so we've got her in a pretty Easter dress, and we're headed to the family's house, and she has a poop explosion that is so nasty that when we go to take her dress off, it smears up her back and up her head, and it is literally smushed in her head. Oh my goodness, it was so bad. We actually had to go home and give her a bath, and there went the Christmas outfit, and we were late for the party. You know, you gotta be willing to roll with the punches with little kids, and just know that this is a season with little ones, and yes, we want all those fun baby pictures and family memories and getting to take them to visit family, but you have to kind of, as the mom, have your perspective right to begin with the fact that you might do a little missing out. You know, maybe you've got to go nurse the baby and change the diaper, and everyone's out there playing the game, and you have to run around with the toddler. You know, maybe you have a family that's really helpful, and so they're like, give me the baby, and you get to go do all the adult stuff. Or maybe that's not going to be the situation, and you're going to kind of feel like you're missing out on those family activities. I just would encourage you to offer that situation as a sacrifice to the Lord, and just allow him to fuel you with his grace and his peace and joy and contentment in this season. Christmas is going to come again the next year, and you know, it's amazing how fast seasons change with little kids. You'll be surprised. I mean, honestly, I've been at the end of the dinner table where I'm like, I can't hear any of the adult conversation that's happening. I haven't eaten any of this amazing, delicious food. I have been so busy taking care of all my kids down here at the kid table that I haven't even gotten a bite in my mouth. And I can allow that situation to just rob me of my joy because I'm thinking about myself and I'm hungry, or I'm this, or I'm that. Or I can kind of prepare for it and go, this is the season of life I'm in. I'm going to do things like, if we're eating at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is not at all my children's lunchtime, I'm going to give them a snack on the way there. And if we show up and they don't eat that much at the dinner table, guess what? Who cares? Like, make them sit there for a couple minutes to fulfill whatever the obligations in your household are, whatever the tone of your family is, so that they're not being rude. Be there with the family for a little bit. Whoop. But if they do not eat everything on their plate, oh well. Like, if they're not so super duper excited for your favorite turkey Thanksgiving traditional meal, like whatever, they'll like it next year. It's way better to have happy kids who are fed than cranky kids who are missing meals and having to wait so long for their food. As well as, especially in those nursing mom years, just feed yourself before you go. I'm serious, guys. Like, we have on Thanksgiving Day, on the way to somebody's house, pulled through whatever drive-thru is open because I'm like, Mama's gotta eat. Like, I'm gonna be so hungry. I don't know about you guys. I get so hungry when I'm nursing. Like, I could just eat the whole cow. Like, give me all of Chick-fil-A in one bite. Okay, maybe now I'm full for 20 minutes. So I know that with myself, I can be not very happy if I'm hungry, and so I'm gonna keep myself fed. Like, would I rather sit there and enjoy my Thanksgiving meal? Yeah, in the perfect world, but you know what? Like, I'm gonna arrive full with caffeine in my body, and knowing that, I'm gonna have to take some time out as a mom. Like, there's gonna be fun inside of there, but I might miss a couple cool conversations, and maybe I don't play the board game with the adults. I don't know. It's kind of like, everybody's culture in their house is different. So as I say this stuff, I'm thinking, like, maybe you don't. Maybe that's not even what your Christmas looks like. So chew up the meat, spit out the bones, enjoy your holiday season is the point of this. And then just know, as a mom, be ready to make those little sacrifices here and there, and know that you're doing that as unto the Lord, and God is going to bring that back to you. And honestly, I pray that you guys have amazing Thanksgivings that are full of love and peace, and being able to just celebrate God's goodness in your life and your families. But in those moments, don't want to blow up the whole Thanksgiving day just because we didn't get to eat the food hot, right? Another thing with the family gatherings that can really help them to go well is to talk with your husband beforehand. Like, say, hey honey, remember last time when we had that fight afterwards because of X, Y, and Z? Like, whatever the situation is that you guys might run into as a couple with family gatherings, talk about those things beforehand. Maybe, like, I love my husband so much, but sometimes in social settings, he kind of forgets, like, he's being social, and he's like, oh yeah, he can't be in the dad and the social box at the same time unless it's something that's in the front of his brain. So we've made the mistake of not talking as a couple and remembering, like, hey, can you help me with the kids a little bit? And we all want to enjoy the family, but help me with the little ones. And we've gone into those times, and it's like, you're there and you're like, we did not talk about this. Or maybe there's that topic that, like, really makes Uncle Fred super mad, and so you're not going to talk about it. Or whatever it is, discuss your expectations with your husband so that he can be on board, and that you can be a team, and it's not a surprise when you're like, hey honey, I'm leaving Thursday night to go Black Friday shopping with my aunts. See ya! Like, that's not very nice or fun. Probably not going to go over so well. So talk about things with your husband and your children. Lay down those expectations. How do you expect your kids to behave at Thanksgiving? How do you expect them to be the light of Jesus to unsaved family? Like, what are you expecting them to do at the dinner table when everybody's sitting there with the fine china, or however it looks? Talk about those things with your kids so they can know going into it, how to rejoice with someone else when they're getting their present, and not just be all about themselves. In our house, we review what it feels like to feel greedy and have tons of toys and feel really yucky on the inside. And we review what it's like to be happy, and how you can get so much joy out of watching someone else open their present too. Another thing to keep in mind is to just guard your kids' hearts. Watch out for that greed. Make sure that, like, yes, we want to shower our children with blessings. We want to give them good gifts on Christmas time. All of those things are great, but we call it a greed monster in our house. I don't know where my kids picked that up from. They watched something where it talked about, I think it was character builders. You can get that on Amazon Prime, and they are as old as I am. Like, they're from my childhood, and they're called character builders, and they talk about greed being this monster, this ugly green monster that hides in your heart. And I help my kids to identify when greed is starting to kick in, and I try to, as the mom, make sure that we have a few activities throughout our holiday season where the entire focus is on giving to someone else. And then I don't know, families with bigger kids, I feel like most moms that watch, whatever, there's so many of you amazing moms out there that you guys, like, have beat on the kids, like, you've got more closer together, or you just have a big family like we do. If you have any tips of how you do presence within each other, like within your own family, I'd love to hear that, because my kids just love giving gifts to each other. And so I've heard of different ideas, like, Pollyannas, everybody put their name in the hat and pull your name out. Just make sure you spend some time helping your kids to be thoughtful gift givers, and good gift givers, as well as gift receivers, and then do some activities where it's all about them giving. So I think that's all the tips I have for today. I hope that this helps you to have more joy, full joy holiday season this year in your house. There's always next year. Again, if you're new and you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would love to have you do so. I hope you have an amazing week. See you next time.
Thank you.